Hello there, my name is Riley Hacker, and I'm going to be running through my director's concept for the play The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. My overall concept is to take this play away from the 19th century lens that Wilde originally wrote the play in, and instead focus the concept on the dramatic theming of the play itself. So, my production of Earnest will be a design that focuses on how the rich can be foolhardy and childlike in their everyday lives. Now, this idea came to me because of Wilde's focus on a less dramatic play and his mocking of high society as a whole. This is why I have the quote from Jackson here. When boiled down, nothing really detrimental happens in Earnest. This isn't a Greek tragedy. Instead, it is about a group of socialites going through issues that could be seen in a modern Real Housewives episode. Their problems are not going to change the world at all, but they seem like a big deal to them. So, based on this idea, I decided to set my play in a kindergarten classroom to zoom into this idea of the rich, because of their status and money, acting essentially like children. These images here are related to how I want to focus on this theme in the play. The toys, which are made of plastic, represent the ultimately fake and made-up value of their possessions and status. The teacher represents authority and what it means to have a member of authority try to control every aspect of your life, like a teacher. And lastly, the group of children playing represents the carefree nature the rich have because their lives are comfortable, but also the games that they play for amusement. For example, Jack is lying about his fake brother Ernest to get away with disappearing and doing whatever he likes. What I ultimately want the audience to leave with, based on the design elements and direction with the actors, is what Oscar Wilde intended. A look into high society and how its structure and what is important to them is like the relationship between rowdy children and teachers. The events of the play mirror this idea, as Jack wants to marry someone that Lady Bracknell doesn't approve of, Jack's lying about Ernest, and Cecily and Gwendolyn's fighting over the same man. However, like in the view of a child, these problems feel like the world to them. Wilde, after all, said in an interview that the play was exquisitely trivial, a delicate bubble of fancy, but that it had a philosophy that we should treat all the trivial things of life very seriously, and all the serious things of life with sincere and studied triviality. Other than this message, I want the audience to see how close the characters relate to each other, just like how, in kindergarten, children become very close and form meaningful bonds with their friends. Jack and Algernon have a really close friendship, and Gwendolyn and Cecily grow to find a female companionship after initially disliking each other. As much as the play focuses on the eventual pairings, it also focuses on the fondness these people have for each other. Lastly, I want the audience to have fun because this is a comedy. Wilde wrote it that way because during his time, dramatic plays were being written in astounding amounts. So I want the audience to sit back, have fun, and enjoy this lighthearted play that comments on the triviality of the rich. Now, with all of this in mind, I would like the set design to emulate this by being a replication of a kindergarten classroom. This means I would like the stage to have desks with chairs, a playful flooring with lots of toys the actors could use throughout the play, and have lots of color. My one stipulation would be that this set would be a unit set that doesn't move. So here are some references of colors and furniture that used in a kindergarten classroom. Notice the emphasis on bright colors, rugs, and playthings like tents or houses. The other important element of the set design that I would ask my set designer to help me with is the idea of a blackboard present that the audience could see. My idea with the blackboard would be to use it as a scene change and have the chalk-drawn images that are on it represent scene changes between acts. I have this clip from the Broadway production of Matilda showing what I mean, with the board either being a practical board that the actors could use or a board that has projections put on it. This clip from Matilda shows that they used projections. I would let the set designer tell me which would fit best with the theater. For costume design, I would like most characters to be put in clothing that children would wear. This reference image here shows what I'm talking about, with lots of bright colors and childlike imagery. The only characters that this doesn't apply to is Lady Bracknell and Miss Prism, who I would like to wear something akin to what a teacher would wear. This is because Lady Bracknell and Miss Prism are characters who act as a sort of parental figure in the play and offer advice on how to stay high status in their world. However, like a teacher, though their methods seem strict at that age, they are doing it because they feel like it is what is best for their children. For the character of Chasuble, my idea is he is a pastor that frequently stops by the classroom to meet with Miss Prism because he loves her. This means that he can wear a suit as he is an adult that holds a position of religious leadership. Also, the servants, Lane and Merriman, I've decided should be dressed as teachers' aides because it gives them an excuse to be in the classroom and converse with and get close to the students. Here are my reference images for these costumes. For props, I want to bring back the images and the themes present in those I discussed earlier. I would like there to be a focus on the plastic and game-like nature that would occur in a kindergarten classroom. Therefore, I would like all of the props to be toys and objects children would play with. For example, the sandwiches and cakes the groups eat at multiple times during the play would be toy food. The purse that Jack owns that is revealed to be Lady Bracknell's, which shows that he is actually not adopted, would be like a little toy purse or something like that. And the diary that Cecily writes in about Algernon would be like a pretty pink diary that a little girl would play with. Lastly, for the lighting design, I have these reference images here of how I would like the actors to be lit. I'm looking for very simple lighting that keeps their faces bright and visible. I would let the lighting designer do their thing. With all of this in mind, I would direct the actors to a method of acting that is very exaggerated and energetic. Because the actors would be performing this play in a space that resembles a kindergarten classroom, I would like them to behave like how children would. This would hopefully help show the audience the idea of the rich acting childlike and offering up irony that we are watching children speak heightened speech, which would add to the comedy. I have this clip from In the Blood showcasing the movement patterns that adults can use to emulate children, which is essentially an unapologetic and impulse-related behavior. Secondly, I have a clip from The Little Rascals that showcases how I would like the actors to speak.
I'm a sensitive male. I'm in the sharing, caring, feeling, and healing. I'm in touch with my feminine side. How nice. It's worse than I thought. You know, Alfalfa, the big talent show with the fair's coming up. And I was sort of wondering if maybe you'd like to sing with me.
Children talk a bit slower, have higher voices, and are very enthusiastic, so I would direct the actors to move this way and speak this way. Overall, I hope to use all of these elements to create a production that enhances the themes already present in Oscar Wilde's brilliant play.